All right, guys, so today's workout is your dumbbell day, and so you're going to need a set of dumbbells. I'm actually going to have you guys get 2 dumbbells of the same weight. We're doing some devil's presses, so you're going to want a pair of dumbbells for that. So again, we have our strength thing, 3 to 4 sets, very similar to what we do in class, followed then by a 3-round workout here. So let's go over your lifting stuff for today. And for the first one, we have bent over row. So you're going to need both of your dumbbells for this exercise. I'm going to have Diane come in here and demonstrate this. She's got a set of 15s right here. You're going to grab onto each of them. And for the bent over row, you're going to hinge at the hips, back's nice and straight. And I'm going to have her angle the dumbbells down so one head of the dumbbell taps the ground. And you can go just outside your feet, just in front of your feet, whatever's comfortable for you, as long as you're maintaining this nice flat back here. Okay, so from here, she's going to row up and pull her elbows behind her, and then lower those weights back down to where the head of the dumbbell touches the ground. If you can't quite get it to touch the ground, it's not the end of the world. You can hover it off the ground just a little bit. And the other thing that I want you to focus on here is thinking about pulling your elbows up, and your hands should come back towards your rib cage versus pulling your hands up to your armpits. Okay, which is going to use a little bit more traps here. Or if you pull them back too far, it's just kind of an awkward angle. You get the triceps involved, so you don't need to do that. All right, so we've got 12 to 15 of those dumbbell bent over rows. And depending on the weight you have, you may need to speed up or slow down the tempo to make that 12 to 15 something that's challenging for you. You should be getting not necessarily to failure, but close to muscle failure on those. The next exercise is going to be bicep curls. So we have 10 to 12 reps here. And there's several variations you can do depending on what weight you grab. If you're using 2 of the dumbbells, you can either do both of them at the same time as a bicep curl. So she's going to curl both of them up, and as she does, she's going to stop before she gets to a point where her arms can relax. All right, so she's not going through the full range of motion here. She's contracting at the top, and then she's going to lower them back down, not going fully straight at the bottom. All right, so she's curling up, squeeze, back down. Okay. The other way you can do that would be a hammer style curl. So she's going to turn the dumbbells. Her thumb's going to be pointed up the whole time. This is generally a little bit easier. So if the weights are heavy, you can try it like this. Same thing, squeeze at the top, come back down. Another option to make it even easier would be alternating arms. So go ahead and turn and face the camera. So she's going to go alternating arms, bicep curl. And that just gives your arm a little bit of a break in between. You can do that hammer style curl if you want to make it easier. Or if the weights are just too heavy for you, you can set one down, grab both heads of the dumbbell, and do your bicep curl with just one dumbbell. Again, same range of motion, so she's going to come up and squeeze before she gets all the way to the top, and then control that weight back down. Okay, so the reps here are 10 to 12, and that's per arm. So if you're doing one arm at a time, that's going to be 20 to 24 total reps. If you're doing both arms at the same time, that's 10 to 12 total reps of the bicep curl. And then finally, in our strength thing, the last piece is going to be the side plank. So again, this is something you guys do know how to do pretty well. You're just going to drop down onto your forearm and your elbow. The elbow needs to be directly under the shoulder. This hand should be in the air. Both feet stacked on top of each other in a nice straight line. And from here, if you want to add a variation in, you can get a little rotation in with that arm. So reaching under, notice her chest is facing down to the ground. She's opens back up. If you are able to, another option would be lifting the foot up. So you have, that's a pretty tough version right there, but it adds definitely a big element of difficulty if you are looking for something a little more. But you're going 45 seconds per side on that. Okay, after you get done with that, we're moving on to our conditioning workout, and this is going to be a tough one. It's 3 rounds of 10 devil's press and 20 dumbbell squats. So let's go over the devil's press for a review. I know a lot of you guys have done this before, but there's a lot of technique involved. So you're going to set the dumbbells up so they're wide enough that you can do a burpee where your chest hits in between the dumbbells. So she's going to drop down, grab the dumbbells, go down into a push-up position, chest is on the ground. Okay. From here, she's going to burpee up and pop her feet back forward. Okay. So when you bring your feet forward, you want them wider than the dumbbells, so that as you lift the dumbbells off the ground, you can swing them between your legs. Now, when you lift these off the ground, your back needs to be very straight. You cannot be rounding your back at all. So she's gonna do like a kettlebell hike where she swings them back and then snatches them up overhead. So it's a double dumbbell snatch, all right? Then on the way back down, it's like a kettlebell swing. She's gonna swing them back between her legs and then in a controlled manner, set them back down in her start position. You wanna make sure you set them down wide enough that your chest can hit. All right, so again, it's a burpee. She jumps her feet wide, swings them back, does a double snatch, gets a good lockout overhead, swings them back down, sets them under control. All right, so what I don't want to see when you're doing this is you going from over your head all the way back down to the ground in one motion. That's a really good way to hurt your back, or you usually end up setting them too close together, so you're going to need to take the time to roll them apart anyway. So just take that extra second, swing them back between your legs, and set them down under control. Okay, so you got 10 of those, and then you have 20 dumbbell squats. So you're going to need both dumbbells for this, and she's going to bring them up into what we call, I guess, a front rack position. You can hold them pretty much however you want. So you can set one head of the dumbbell on your shoulders and hold the handle with your hands, or you can set the handles on your shoulders. Your hands do need to maintain contact with your dumbbells. So you see the weight is just resting entirely on her traps and on her shoulders. All right, so from here, she's just gonna do 20 squats with her dumbbells. So as always, looking for full range of motion, going all the way down, standing all the way up until you hit 20 reps. All right, then when you're coming back down with them, just be careful when you set them down. Don't smash your toes, don't drop them. All right, so again, 3 rounds, 10 doubles presses, 20 dumbbell squats, and then you're done. All right, so good luck with this one. It's going to be a tough one. If you can't find the equipment that you need when you come in, you might have to save it for a little bit later in the week, depending on what we have available. All right, so have fun with this, guys.